has got a good record in a lot of tight finishes in handicaps, but just recently the handicapper has looked in charge, but very rarely runs a poor race. Although only finished 10th last night, was only beaten 4 lengths at York.
5 is Theory of Everything, another one who's out of a Group 1 winner. Course and distance winner. Lots in his favour today, you'd have thought, including a tumbling mark.
Yeah, and including the ground as well. I think the ground's the key to him. 4 career wins. They've all been on soft ground. He's 1 from 1 at the track. 7th last time out at Ascot. Return to Ayr will almost certainly suit. 7 is stable companion Duke's Command.
Duke's Command won last time on easy-ish ground, or the easiest ground that he'd run off at Haydock last time. So maybe he's turned the corner, because it came as a little bit of a surprise. He ran well at Doncaster, winning, and then had a big run of duck eggs, and then came back to form at Doncaster. So not the most competitive of runners. 10
is Sex on Fire.
Yeah, who's turned out quickly. Ran earlier in the week here. Finished 4th. On Thursday. Prior to that, being 7th at Newmarket. 1 from 11 on turf so far.
Okay, 10 Sex on Fire. There you are. 13 is Mr. King. Andrew Mullen for Ian Jardine. Probably ran a little bit better than the form figure suggested last time.
The handicapper's relented. It's just that Ian Jardine is he's not even hitting the crossbar at this meeting. It just seems to be running a little bit below form. But yeah, as you say, Mr. King, on his form at this meeting last year, he's absolutely chucked in. He was beaten just half a length in, I think it was this race last year. He'd have a great chance on that form, but needs to come back. But it'd be good to see the local stable have a winner.
Number 6 is next, Thunder Roar. David Nolan taking the ride. I thought this horse had a right chance this afternoon, Mark.
I've tipped it in my blog for Racing
Bad
TV.
Luck, so have I.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think we're thinking along the same line. Soft ground is absolutely the key to this horse, but ran well last time at Ascot. His 2nd run in 24 hours, and again on last season's form in soft ground, he'd have a very, very good chance.
Okay, that is number 6. And number 2, last but very much not least, is Northern Express, who's been a tremendous servant to Connections, who are represented by Northern Ticker in the big race.
Yeah, and he's raced on this day for the last 2 years. Been lining up in an Ayr Gold Cup. He's been running over longer trips this season. 5th last time out, that was in the Clipper Handicap at the Ebor Festival. Finished 5th off 99. Handicappers dropped him a pound, as you say. He's been a fabulous horse, and he won't have a problem with the ground.
Just a couple more then. Sorry, Arctic Grey is next.
Arctic Grey, oh yes,
so
Richard Hannon's horse, 4th last time at Ascot. That was the first time he'd run on easy ground, and seems to bring about a little bit of improvement on his last 2 runs, so maybe that's the key.
There you go, there's Arctic Grey. Look at him, and behind him is number 8, Knee Point.
That was the one that was getting warm earlier on.
Richard Fahey runner who had a good season last year, won on 3 occasions, hasn't fired in 2 outings so far this season, including on the all-weather at Southall last time.
All right, you've seen him twice. You have seen them all now ahead of this opening handicap.
Thanks, guys. There they are down at the start for this 1:15 at Ayr. The Ladbrokes free bet at Ayr handicap. It's a Class 2 contest over a mile. Aperist is 6-1. Thunder Roar is 13-2. Cafiz is 7-1. It is 7-1 and bigger for the rest of them. Notable one is Thunder Roar, really for a bit of money. 9's into 13-2. Let's rejoin Nick and the team.
Yeah, right. Let's just sum up what we think about this race, how it's going to be run, and how it's going to unfold. Mark.
Yeah, pace-wise, I suspect Near Point will be fairly handy from 6, Northern Express from stall 2, and Cafiz, one of the 4 3-year-olds in the lineup, he can be handy as well. He's got the draw to do it in stall 1.
3-year-olds have not been firing so far this week at this meeting. Things could all change today as we step up a gear in terms of quality. Cafiz is very, very weak here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think. On paper, on ratings, it comes out as Cafiz's best performance, but it doesn't suggest a massive step forward from the two previous wins. I think, on balance and on the evidence of what we've seen so far this week, they're usually up against really gnarled and seasoned campaigners, and a few horses that have been laid out at this Western meeting at Ayr. And on balance, I'm not surprised to see Cafiz weaken against some old favourites that punters will be very familiar with here.
Money for Ayr, it's not a surprise. Much more suitable conditions today.
Yeah, I could certainly see the case for him. He was a big eye catcher at the Galway Festival when he finished 4th. That was over 7 furlongs. But he's got 2 wins over a mile to his name. He ran creditably enough in the Clipper at York, but the ground was quick enough and he didn't get the clearest of runs on that far rail.
OK, they're now cracking on through the loading process. Sex on Fire goes in, one of several runners this week for Phil Cunningham. I really hope he has a winner. They've really supported this fixture incredibly wholeheartedly.
I was told it's the first time he's been up
I don't think
meeting,
it'll be the last.
and he absolutely loves it.
3 back then. They are Duke's Command, the Pink Silks Leadenhall, and in the middle of the shot then Nay Point, who might be amongst the early pace, as we say good afternoon for the 3rd consecutive day on Ladbrokes Ayr Gold Cup Day to Gareth Topham.
Good afternoon, Nick. Hello, everybody. Last one to go forward, Duke's Command for this, the opening race of 8 on Ladbrokes Ayr Gold Cup Day. The very best of luck with all of your fancies here throughout the course of the day. Last one to head forward will be Duke's Command. And then we'll be set to go for the first of our 8 races on Ladbrokes Ayr Gold Cup Day. Lined up for race 1. And they're off, and Mr. King has blown the start.
In a warm race, has travelled beautifully in a side down the outside to win this race and beat Theory of Everything, who did rally under James Doyle for David O'Mara. That's a good run from him. 12 Impartiality is 3rd, and Northern Express, his usual good run, in 4th. Sex on Fire was 5th, but the winner is Thunder Roar, who's gone off the 5-1.
That must have been late, because I only backed it a couple of minutes before the off, and I got bigger than that. So no, but for some way out, at least a furlong and a half, I was in the payout queue. I thought he was going so well. I just had a moment's flutter, half a furlong from the line, when he looked as though one might come to challenge, but no, he's won a little more comfortably, or as comfortably as I thought he would have done.
Right, have a look at stall 5, Mr. King. It did not want to come out of the stalls. Now, it's somewhat inconclusive what happened there, but he didn't come out. Eventually, he came out loose, minus Andrew Mullen. But I'm afraid back to the drawing board. I don't know whether that was entirely his fault. It was quite hard to say.
I don't think we'll know until we get a report back, do we? We couldn't tell from the pictures.
It may have been that Andrew wasn't in the plate when the stalls opened, but that's pure conjecture, because we haven't got a clear enough angle to see.
Northern Express has gone out on his shield again, hasn't he? He's an admirable horse. It's just the handicap has been in charge all this season. He's won a couple of good races at York and Ascot up the straight course. He just needs to come down 3 or 4 pounds. I think he's ended up 4th, but he's set them all a decent gallop here.
Yeah, winner, 2nd and 3rd, they've all come from sort of slightly better than mid-division, Mark.
They have, yeah, and the first 4 home, or certainly the first 3 home, are proven soft ground horses, aren't they? Thunder Roar, well done to you two. You're both keen on his chance. He's a proven soft ground horse. Theory of Everything, he's the grey horse towards the inside. He's run to be 2nd. Again, he's a proven soft ground horse. And Impartiality ran a cracker not that long ago at Goodwood on heavy ground. So the finish has certainly been dominated by mud lovers. Winner's travelling well down the outside. He comes with a strong run towards his stand side.
Yeah, it's a evenly paced run as well, and David Nolan has just allowed him to ease into the race. He hasn't tried too hard to chase down the leaders too early in the race, and a race run at a nice even tempo.
No, absolutely, and we could see from there his elbows were flapping so much later in the game than some of the others. He was going so smoothly compared to all the horses on his inside. He's done it as if the horse was on rails, really. Just didn't meet any interference at all. Was always confident, I think, and yeah, a good success. You'd think the horse, the way he's won this, even with a penalty or with a raise, if conditions are in his favour, he'll win another.
Knight of Thunder will have many more illustrious progeny, most notably Ombudsman, to propel him to what may very well be a Sires Championship this year. He's comfortably on top of it at the moment, but that's another 23,193 to the tally, and a typically tough performance from a progeny of that stallion. 5-1 favourite Thunder Roar wins. David Nolan for Tony Coyle and Kane Wood. They're getting closer, the Cunningham Spencers, aren't they?
Yeah, he's run well again, hasn't he? Sex on Fire. He obviously ran here on Thursday, finished 4th that day. Also showed plenty of speed, got himself into a prominent position. Just not quite good enough on the day, but he's certainly run a sound race.
But a big result this for Tony Coyle and his training partner Kane Wood. Thunder Roar wins the opener here at Ayr. Big race win for them, and David Nolan it is that has steered him to victory.
Yeah, well done to the team. Another course success. Nice win as well for this son of Knight of Thunder. David Nolan on board. Kanewood, Tony Coyle, the winning partnership, and colours of Bishop and Partner. And takes the opening race on the big day, does Thunder Roar. Back up to a mile, seems to have really suited off the back of Ascot a couple of weeks ago. 5-1 favourite. We said it was open, it's gone to the favourite. Theory of Everything was second, and Impartiality was third at 7-1. That's the 1:15 at Ayr, done and dusted. 42.8, 5.7 seconds outside. That's a Class 2 handicap over the mile.